Going on, everyone? Hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day. John Matrix here. We are going to be checking out another video in the SCP universe. This is another one by Dr. Maxwell and Dr. Maxwell's SCP readings. This is SCP 6787, Site 87, Sublevel 13, Department of Abnormalities. Again, as we'd gone through the Cactus Verse, the Department of Abnormalities had been brought up a couple of different times. And it seems like that's going to be an idea that he potentially might be expanding on in future stories if he plans on doing any more in his universe. So look forward to checking this out and seeing what's going on in this one. Links will be down below in the description to the original video without my commentary and reaction, and to Dr. Maxwell's channel. Do me a favor, click those links. If you enjoy Dr. Maxwell's content, please go over there and give him a sub. And if you like this video, go over there and give it a like. If you'd like to join our discussions when we're doing these reactions live, we'd love to have you guys come in here and give us your 2 cents on the topics we're covering. There's a join button underneath the video, as well as a link in the description to the YouTube membership tiers and benefits that I offer. Take a look at them, see if any of them have any interest for you. If you decide you want to take your support to the next level, get early access to videos. You can get priority in any kind of requests you might have for any reactions you'd like me to do. You can get access to a sub Discord channel, etc., etc. Let's take a look at them, and yeah, we're going to jump into this here video. Again, SCP 6887, Site 87, Sublevel 13, Department of Abnormalities by Dr. Maxwell. So, do it.
Item number SCP-6787, Level 2 Restricted, Containment Class Safe, Disruption Class Dark, Risk Class Caution. Special Containment Procedures. Access to Sublevel 13 of Site 87 has been sealed behind a steel plate and concrete by order of Director Tristan Bailey.
Okay.
Due to a risk of personnel becoming trapped in SCP-6787, despite this, travel between Sublevel 12 and Sublevel 14 is only to take place via elevator at this time. Description: SCP-6787 refers to Sublevel 13 of Site 87. Prior to SCP-6787's discovery in early 2022 during routine maintenance, Site 87 did not have a sublevel designated 13, instead incrementing from Sublevel 12 directly to Sublevel 14. SCP-6787 is only accessible via Site 87's main stairwell and lacks elevator access. The door to SCP-6787 is marked with the Foundation insignia, with Department of Abnormalities Archival Division.
So, it's in an SCP facility already there. And it's like a level inside a facility that is like hidden in there already. That's kind of fascinating. Right? Am I maybe I'm mistaken it, but that's what I'm getting from this so far. He said that, you know, there's an elevator that goes up between levels, and this elevator for whatever reason does not have access to this level. It can't be this level can't be accessed, you know, through taking the elevator. There's only a specific way of accessing it, but it's between floors. Yeah, and has already been there in the facility. So I don't know. I find that interesting.
Engraved beneath. Sublevel 13 resembles a public library. Over 30,000 volumes of literature are believed to exist within SCP-6787, and it bears several amenities common in public libraries. Also present within SCP-6787 are a book deposit slot on the rear wall of SCP-6787. It has been welded shut, with caution signs placed around it in several languages. Several pieces of seating, most of which are intact, including 2 sofas and an antique reading chair. However, personnel will routinely refuse to use any seating, citing an instability with the furniture that they have not been able to elaborate on, and either lean against the walls or sit on the floor to rest.
Interesting. So it's a library, and the book drop-off, you know, thing has been welded shut with caution signs all around it, essentially indicating not to use it. And any furniture you sit on or lean against, like, gives way in some way. It's unstable, but they're not able to elaborate on what that means. I wonder if this is like some kind of like mimic. The only thing I can really think of is like this library, some kind of like thing that like mimics. It's like a mimic of some sort, and it's like mimicking a library to get people to come in there, read a book, and be comfortable, and then just eat you. You know what I'm saying? That kind of a situation. That's the only thing that really kind of comes to mind.
A skylight in the center of the structure, with light levels corresponding to an overcast day consistently filtering through it. Directly beneath the skylight is a section containing several tabletop games, apparently available for lending, similar to
People in there are playing Warhammer too, man. See, everything comes back to Warhammer. Everything does.
other media in the library. These games are all missing crucial pieces such as dice, tokens, and game boards. A circulation desk, which to date has not been located. Several members of personnel report seeing the circulation desk, but are unable to locate it when returning to the area where it was sighted. A television with a built-in Betamax player is present by a pair of
They got the Betamax player in there, brother? God damn. This place is fucking like top of the line technology back from the early 80s.
Microfiche machines. Despite this, no Betamax tapes have been found within SCP-6787. Similar to the book deposit slot, the slot for inputting the tape has been fused shut. The majority of the literature and media within SCP-6787 is non-anomalous, albeit of questionable origin, as media dating from as recently as 2021 has been located within. The exception
So all the data of everything kept inside is non-anomalous. It seems to be real and is updated as recent as 2021. Now, I'm assuming this video is probably a couple years old at this point, or maybe the article anyway is a couple of years old. So that might be the present time of when this is taking place, or at least recent enough, but still. It seems to indicate that somehow this anomaly is getting fed outside data or is somehow tapped into what is going on in the world and is able to update data, books, whatever accordingly.
Is within the local history section. Media from this section is designated SCP-6787-
But it's also interesting that if that's the case, why does it have Betamax tapes there, dude? And like, what? Like, wouldn't you think it would have, like, you know, at the very least DVDs, if not Blu-rays, you know, like have a more modern day technological setup instead of just Betamax players? You know what I'm saying? So far, what we've got from this one is that there is, in an SCP facility, there is apparently a level that has been discovered that had already existed there, that is part of the Department of Abnormalities. It can't be accessed through the elevator like the rest of the floors can. It can only be accessed in a unique way, and it appears to be some kind of library. The book deposit chute has been welded shut with caution signs all over it. Any furniture that people sit on, they claim is unstable in some kind of way, but they aren't able to elaborate on what that indicates or means. It has a Betamax player in there and plays Betamax tapes, yet it also has apparently books and literature and information that is up to date, at least up to 2021. And as I was saying, you know, whenever this article was written and or this video was done, that could have been present time in the SCP universe. So that seems to be what's all we know at the moment. The theory that I'm going off of is this is some kind of mimic, and it's mimicking a library in order to get people to come in, read information, get comfortable, and then eat you. Perhaps when you go to sleep or some shit. The last one is the one where he had to be Catholic.
Albeit of questionable origin, as media dating from as recently as 2021 has been located within. The exception is within the local history section. Media from this section is designated SCP-6787-A. SCP-6787-A instances purport to depict and detail, if occasionally dramatize, the history of the Nexus that Site-87 is located in. Sloth's Pit, Wisconsin, Nexus 18. However, several details within SCP-6787-A instances are erroneous or contradictory. A table of selected instances follows. SCP-6787-A instance, Jackson Sloth, an autobiography. Purported contents: an autobiography of the founder of Sloth's Pit, Jackson Sloth. Date of publication is listed as 1893, 3 years after Sloth's purported death. Notable deviations: aside from the date of publication, a large portion of the work details Sloth's brutal massacre and subsequent pataphysical erasure of native peoples within Douglas County, Wisconsin. In reality, Sloth had relatively good relations with the native peoples in the area, even learning some of the Ojibwe language in an attempt to integrate them into what would become Sloth's Pit.
Is this supposed to be like some kind of alternate reality information that this is finding, or is this is this another one of those situations where like this is something that predates what we currently know of our history, and this is something that is like from history from another timeline that then a K-class scenario happened and the world's been reset and we're finding information from what happened beforehand, and that things have all played out relatively the same, but this information is just slightly different? Something like that going on?
The tone of the work indicates that the author is proud of his accomplishments. SCP-6787-A instance, Roots Grown by Blood by James Patterson. Purported contents: a true crime novel detailing murders committed by Jeffrey Hubble, a blood cultist and farmer who believed that human flesh could allow for a massive harvest. Notable deviations: the novel describes Hubble as murdering indiscriminately and burying upwards of 20 bodies within his field. Only 13 victims have been attributed to him. It is stated that Hubble's crimes went undiscovered until the killing of his family's dog and a local member of law enforcement in 2017. While accurate in spirit, it does not reflect actual events. SCP-6787-A instance, a history of UFO sightings in the Greater Superior Area. Purported contents: an account of purported extraterrestrial activity around Superior and Sloth's Pit, Wisconsin. Notable deviations: no extraterrestrial activity has been confirmed to occur within NX-18. History of UFO sightings attributes the increased activity to the presence of the Jasper Sloth Nuclear Research Facility. No such place exists. SCP-6787-A instance, a life redacted by Nemo. Footnote 1. Redaction in original text due to anti-memetic properties. Purported contents: a biography of a Foundation agent stationed at Site-87 until death from an unspecified cause in 2020. The agent's name is anti-memetic and cannot be perceived. Notable deviations:
interesting.
No agent.
The name itself is anti-memetic and can't be perceived. Huh. That almost seems like a specific failsafe that was, put there to keep this, obviously this person's identity concealed. So you would think that that would mean that that would be someone pretty significant in the SCP Foundation, right?
Agent met from an unspecified cause in 2020. The agent's name is anti-memetic and cannot be perceived. Notable deviations: no agent matching the description given in the book has ever been stationed at Site-87. Her purported partner, Agent Toff.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, this is feeling more and more like a situation of this because this is a part of the Department of Abnormalities, which potentially is a version of the SCP Foundation that existed before the SCP Foundation, maybe even in an alternate like timeline before an end of the world scenario happened. That's what this is feeling like, is it's indicating that this existed in a different timeline or whatever you want to say it. A K-class scenario thing happened, wiped out humanity. Maybe SCP-2000 kicked in, rebooted everything, and this is a remnant left over from that. And it's just showing us that history has played out the same characters, but things happening slightly different.
Offelmeyer denies knowledge of this individual, but has asked to keep this instance of SCP-6787-A. Request pending approval. SCP-6787-A instance, a court record of divorce proceedings between Cassandra Pike and Claude Maddings. Purported contents. As the title suggests, it is a record of all evidence and testimony within a divorce case between the two individuals. Both are Foundation personnel and have been married since 2018. Notable deviations. The primary reason given for divorce is listed as instability following the birth of their only child, Rose. Pike loses custody of her child to her husband. In reality, the Pike Maddings family have relocated to California to work on Project Lazarus. They have not been notified of
Project Lazarus. They're bringing back fucking Mass Effect as part of this universe now too. They're going to bring back the SCP Foundation is who brought back Shepard. Actually not Cerberus. Is that what I'm hearing here? Huh?
the existence of this item. SCP-6787-A instance. Autopsy records of Dr. Catherine Jean Sinclair. Purported contents. A pair of contradictory Foundation-issued autopsy reports. One has the date of death as October of 2020 and the cause of death as destruction of cranial tissue. The other lists the date of death as May of 2021 and lists the cause of death as blood loss due to a gunshot wound. Notable deviations. At both times, Sinclair was in mortal danger. In the former case, her left eye was destroyed, and in the latter, she needed to resort to thermic stasis until medical treatment could be rendered. Despite this, she is currently alive and works at Site-87. SCP-6787-A instance. A history of hate in Douglas County, Wisconsin by the American Civil Liberties Union. Purported contents.
This is taking place in Wisconsin. Isn't there, like, I know there's other stuff happening in, like, Indiana. There's a couple of stories that happen that. But I want to say there was something else recently, some other kind of SCP that had to do with something in Wisconsin. I don't know why. Maybe I'm mistaken. But for whatever reason, him saying that it's taking place in this area of Wisconsin is sticking out to me. And for whatever reason, my brain is trying to connect it with another one, but it's just not happening.
A work that portrays Sloth's Pit as a heavily conservative area, de facto ruled by the family church, a relatively inactive group of interest which modeled itself after conservative Christian teachings. They are listed as being responsible for several lynchings, hate crimes, and murders of sexual and racial minorities, overseen by...
It might have been, but I thought all of those had to do with stuff in Indiana. But maybe it did. You know, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was one of those, though.
Of Christian teachings. They are listed as being responsible for several lynchings, hate crimes, and murders of sexual and racial minorities, overseen by a Father Reese. Notable deviations. Among the victims are an Alexander Karakos and the Williams twins, both corresponding to members of Foundation personnel. Blake Williams and Alejandro Carrasco have been in a relationship since December of 2021, which is listed as the date of their murder. It is unclear why Ruby Williams was targeted. SCP-6787-A instance. Black Autumn 3, Volume 1 and Volume 5. Purported contents: a pair of VHS tapes that purportedly show an anthology series.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. The essentially right now, it just seems like they're going over different SCP members' histories according to this library, and then the deviations of what is going on in current reality. Which, again, it just feels like it's indicating that this library is something from a different timeline.
Depicting events which occurred during October 2019 concerning Halloween-related phenomena appearing in Nexuses around the world. Volumes 2, 3, and 4 have not been located. Notable deviations: the episodes portray the Foundation attempting to, in some way, destroy or neutralize the anomalous elements of the Nexuses they control or have involvement in. Puerto Extraño, Brazil has all extraterrestrial life exterminated. The non-human population of Esterberg is killed in a Foundation-backed pogrom. Extra-dimensional areas such as 3 Portlands and the complex apartments in New York are brought into regular space in such a way that they destroy the areas they are connected to, and a nuclear bomb is dropped down the bottomless pit within NX-18 in an attempt to neutralize it. SCP-6787-A Instance, Site-87, A History by Philip Verhoeven. Purported contents: purports to tell the history of Site-87 in Sloth's Pit, Wisconsin following its establishment in 1907. Notable deviations: Sloth's Pit was not known to the larger Foundation prior to the discovery of SCP-097 in 1969, and Site-87 was not established until 1976. None of the personnel listed are known to ever have been Foundation personnel. The only individual of note mentioned is Zachary Bellwether, a purported director of Site-87, who ran for governor of Wisconsin 3 times between 1945 and 1960, losing the primary each time.
I mean, yeah, it could be the Department of Abnormalities found a way to anchor at least part of that here. You know, who knows?
SCP-6787-A Instance, An Index of Treason. Purported contents: a document purported to be published by the Foundation, listing several individuals who had committed treason against the organization since its establishment. All current and former Site-87 personnel are listed, as are personnel at Site-43, Site-120, and several other sites which deal with the containment of Nexuses. Notable deviations: the only known contents include references to Director Bailey's brother, SCP-1483 Commissioner Thomas Bailey, as purposely collapsing SCP-1483 and defecting to the Antarctic Empire. Upon recording this data, Director Bailey ordered the volume destroyed and SCP-6787 sealed. Despite being sealed as of March 2022, personnel traversing Site-87 between Sublevel 12 and Sublevel 14 have sporadically found themselves within SCP-6787, leading to current containment procedures. All 20 personnel who have become trapped this way.
Yeah, it's saying it seems like something happened at these different nexuses that was threatening humanity or threatening the SCP Foundation. And so the SCP Foundation was forced to destroy these nexuses, which then resulted in any anomalous things that lived in those areas, such as 3 Portlands, etc., being destroyed along with it. So
have been recovered. In the process, they have retrieved several other instances of SCP-6787-A, with titles including When Words Fail, The Loss of SCP-5109 and the Collapse of U.S. Foundation Infrastructure by Harold R. Blank, Foundation Archivist. A More Bottomless Pit, The Economic Failure of Sloth's Pit, Wisconsin by Simeon Adler. Death of Summer, The Camp Krakow Disaster by Isaiah H. Pickman, Archivist Emeritus. I.H. Pickman's 001 proposal, erasing the Word of God. These items are currently not being studied, per order of Director Bailey.
Interesting. That's another one I really don't know what to make of. I mean, like I said, my idea of what it could be has jumped around a couple different things. So like, it sounded almost like it was something that was like a mimic or was trying to pretend to be a library to lure people in. But that seems to not be the case. It's interesting though that the book return chute is welded shut with caution signs all around it, and the same thing has happened with any kind of Betamax return thing as well, and that being sealed off. So I wonder if it's a situation where, like, if someone checks out a book from that or one of those Betamax tapes and reviews whatever information is on it and they return it, the library alters their life and somehow, some way, you know what I mean? Because like, why would those things be sealed off? There has to be some reason for it. And that kind of would go with the correlation of like history being deviated slightly. I mean, it seems like more than slightly for some people, but there just being history deviations between a lot of the people they're talking about here. SCP members having different lives. You know, like the John Hubble guy or whatever, apparently, you know, according to this library, was a serial killer and thought that, you know, humans were some kind of amazing fertilizer and was going around killing people and burying them because they thought there would be some kind of like crazy good fertilizer or some shit like that. I would have to re-listen to it, but like, that's different than apparently what the SCP knows is what's happening in reality, you know, stuff like that. So is it a situation where, like, if you check a book out and you read any kind of information and return it, this library alters your life in some way? I don't know. But then they're also getting into talks of like you guys are saying, with there's different Nexus points around the world, and the SCP Foundation at one point in time was forced to destroy these Nexus points and shunt things that were like the 3 Portlands that lived in its own pocket dimension were shunted into like real space for us, and in doing so destroyed anything anomalous, you know, and it did it at all those Nexus points. So like it's you know, I'm not sure really what all that really means, how this connects. Is this a situation where the Department of Abnormalities at some point in time, like you guys were saying, like think that they found a way to anchor, you know, the Wanderer's library to a specific point, or maybe to two various specific points, and were able to travel through them, and they use this library as a means of traveling quickly between different points in the world, those different Nexus points? If that's the case though, then like, why did they have to be like sealed or destroyed at some point in time? I guess potentially because other creatures or beings were using them to invade. I don't know. Interesting. If anyone has any more information on this one, I'd definitely like to learn more about it. If there's any other videos out there, or if you guys just happen to know more information from the articles that you've read, let me know down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to do another follow-up video with this one if there is any other videos out there like this one to check out. But That was SCP-6787, Site 87, Sublevel 13, Department of Abnormalities, by Dr. Maxwell's SCP readings. Links will be down below in the description to the original video. With that, my commentary and reaction, and to Dr. Maxwell's channel. Please do me a favor, click those links. Give Dr. Maxwell's channel a sub if you're not subbed to him already. And give this video a like if you enjoyed it. As you can see, we've done this reaction live with my YouTube members. If you would like to come and join the discussions when we do these live reactions, we'd love to have you guys come in here, add your 2 cents to the discussion. There's a join button underneath the video, as well as links in the description to the original YouTube membership benefits and tiers that I offer. Check those out if you'd like to take your support to the next level and see if any of them have any interest for you. You can get early access to videos, priority in any kind of requests you might have, sub Discord channels, etc., etc. So if you'd like to take your support to the next level, check those out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like and a sub. And I hope you guys are having yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.